from the captain because otherwise you're losing sight on this person. But try to stay on board anyway. The water is really cold. I think it's like 3 to 4 degrees right now, so I would not recommend going for a swim. Be careful when you're outside. Don't run on the outside decks. Always keep one hand to the ship, and we should be fine. Second thing is basically. But the fish is there's fish sticks because it's like you know very able, but you have the herring also in winter. But you need to find ways to preserve it or to survive all year round. Instead of try to fish at the time they will definitely own it and then try to for the month about the year. Then it evolves into farm animals, etc. And when the fishermen were back to the fish, they were the ones that had to process the fish to get it gone, attach it by the tail and let it dry in the boats. So they also had a really important economic role that no one never talks about. So that's the reason why Fjord decided to dedicate a statue for them. So it represents a woman that is looking towards the sea, waiting after her husband. The fisherman, we don't know if she is waving at him, if he is coming back or just leaving. It's also dedicated to all the widows because really sadly we have here is only experimental pilots landing here and only very small planes like 20 to 30 seats, only coming from Buda, sometimes from Oslo or Trollfjord in summertime, but mostly just small planes coming from Buda. So it doesn't make as well very really easily accessible, which protects it also massive reason, so it's a good thing in my opinion. But the reason why they cannot extend the runway is because it's the ocean on both sides. It's really deep, so it would cost a little bit too much to extend this runway. So most of people either land in Buda and then come with a fast ferry, or you can also come with a few planes or with the planes cutting around, of course. And then we'll continue away to Trollfjord. Very soon we'll reach some small islands called Trollfjord. In Trollfjord we'll slow down and slowly sail in between those islands because it's usually a good spot to see white-tailed eagles. So we'll slowly go around. I will try to point it out for you on the boats, just to give you an idea where to look at when we see anything. We use the clock system, so just basically imagine that the boat is like a big clock, meaning if there is anything in front of us, it's 12 o'clock, on the right hand side, 3 o'clock, behind 6, and on the left is 9 o'clock. If you look just like the training on our 2 o'clock right now, you can see a little kitty wake flying over the waves and playing with the wind. That's very cute little seagull over here. And then we'll reach the protected area, the sheltered area between the islands, that is called Trollfjord. So it's the fjord basically, and because it's narrow and protected by both islands, the water will be much calmer once we'll be there.
Sure, man. 我看不要。招个手吧。
crazy why they decided to make the first bar such a remote place in an island that you have some human souls. It makes sense in many ways. At first, because here, like the drifting from the sea waves are very super narrow. So when the tide is coming up or down, the tide of current here is much stronger than in other places. That this bar has been in an accident.
那个之前在瑞士看大学的，少女峰的时候，上面的也蛮大的。
先个人讲，谢谢。录像。
Yes, it was a lake named Trollfjord. And this lake was the property of the chief of Troll, the one eyed Nina Eriksson. Once ever, because the herring season was really good, the neighbor troll named Vågelken decided to go fishing, so decided he left in a hurry, didn't check on his cows that escaped and went grazing the juicy grass around the lake, but this grass was reserved for chief troll Nina Eriksson. Nina Eriksson was a troll, so of course he was really angry. He took two large boulders, struck them together so strongly and created big echo that could be heard everywhere surrounding mountain. He turned to the cows and told them that if they would ever come back, he would just make big things then. But a few days later, the cows were back because it was less grass they had found in the area. So this time, Nina Eriksson was so mad that he took the biggest pipe he could find, which was 2 kilometers pipe. And on his way to the lake, he tripped over a ridge and lost his grip on the axe that ended up to split open the rocks between Trollfjord and Narrowest, so it created big cracks in the mountains, and when he pulled at the axe, the water from the sea entered the crack